Hello guys, welcome to Coding Essentials. Today we will learn how to add CSS into a HTML file in different ways. So let's get started. Basically, there are three different ways in which you can add CSS into your HTML file, or in other words, you can stylize a HTML file. The first one is inline CSS, the second one is internal CSS, and the third one is external CSS. External CSS is the most widely used way in which you can add CSS in HTML file, because external CSS file can stylize 10 HTML file at one instance, and if you use internal CSS, then you need to rewrite the code every time you make a new HTML file. So moving on to some basic knowledge on selector. In the upcoming videos, I will tell you in depth what is selectors and how many types of selectors are there and how can you use them well. But for this video, you need to have some basic knowledge on element selector. So basically, if you want to add CSS to HTML, then you need to use selector to tell the HTML code that I need this color or something of this style to this element or this type of element. For example, if there is a h1 tag of HTML and you want the color of that h1 tag to be a blue color, then you need to first select that element. So that is what element selector is. The element selector selects HTML element based on element name. So if you will have more clear idea in the further slide. So this is a code of inline CSS. Basically, in inline CSS, it is similar to HTML. You add another attribute style, and the inside that you give all the CSS elements like color, text align, or paragraph color, etc. I will tell you all this in upcoming videos, but I want to just give you a basic knowledge how to add CSS inside a HTML file. So this is known as inline CSS. Let me show you in Sublime Text. So this is the code over here. If we add the style attribute over here, and color would be like blue, and semicolon, text align should be okay, center, and here style attribute and color should be red. Okay, let's save it and open in browser. So this is the code. We gave it blue color to the h1 style and red color to the paragraph style. So Coding Essential will come in blue color and I Love This Channel will come in red color. So this is how you add inline CSS. Moving on to internal CSS. So the internal CSS is like similar to external CSS, just a bit different. We use style tags inside the head tag and write the CSS code inside that style tag. So basically your h1 is the element selector. Sorry, the color of my marker is black, so you cannot see what am I selecting. So h1 selector, and we will give color blue and text alignment center, and for the paragraph we will give color red. So this is similar to the inline CSS code, but this is much convenient. So if you use 10 h1 tags in this HTML file, then you don't need to write style equals color blue text alignment center every time you use the h1 tag. So this is more better. So let me show you. Yeah, first let me erase this out, and inside the head tag we will add the style tag. So inside this, sorry, h1 color blue, text align center, and p tag color red. Save and open in browser. So the same output. So this is internal CSS file, and this is the normal HTML file first that was opened. So this is how you add internal CSS. Moving on to external CSS. So the best and the most convenient process of adding CSS is external CSS. So you add external CSS by creating another CSS file and linking it to the HTML file. So like this, link relate style sheet, okay, and href. So reference, you give the name of the file. So if the file is in the same folder with your HTML file, then you just need to write style.c or name.css, whatever the name of your CSS file is. If it is inside the folder, then you need to do dot and slash. So like this, dot and slash, and then write the name. So style and css, style.css. Bear with my handwriting, please. So, and we will define the CSS code in the CSS file like this. So let me go into Sublime Text, copy, cut this, sorry, remove this, control new, okay, wait, save as style.css, and your link href is style.css because I saved it in the same folder, and I will paste the code over here. There are many tabs, let me clear it. Okay, save it and now open in browser. So the same output. So this is how you add external CSS, but it is much more convenient because you can link the same CSS file in 10 HTML files. So it is much more convenient than internal and inline CSS. Okay, moving on to specificity or the priority order. So inline CSS will have the highest priority order, and internal and external will depend. The one declared later will have a higher priority. For example, if you link external file first and then declare some internal CSS. So if you use the link tag first and then use the style tag, then internal CSS will have higher priority, and if you do this vice versa, then external file will have the higher priority. So the style in the external file will be implemented, and in the first scenario the style in the internal CSS or the style tag will be implemented. So this was all about how to add CSS inside HTML. So thank you guys for watching.